Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Thursday, June 29th, 2023. Time for another entry in my daily vlog. Content creation is something I always did as a hobby. After I got laid off, I decided to try to make it a full-time job, and that's been an adventure, so that's what we're documenting here in this vlog. Let's get cooking talking about yesterday. So once I got the vlog done yesterday, I did some final little publishing details for the podcast that comes out today, which I'll talk about in a second because it's out today. Just like uploading and attaching the images and copying links and those sorts of things, so that when it gets to people, it's not just an audio file, it's a full package. So that kind of stuff I did in the morning. Let's see. Then I got started right away on the next long-form video, which we'll be publishing later today. So I have the 1981 Tron handheld game that I got a couple weekends ago that my wife gave me as a Father's Day gift that we found at a toy store. And I'm really happy with how that video turned out. It's a no on-cam video. It's just entirely table talk. I like doing those periodically because I like videos that get straight to the point. Like when you push play, there's a picture of the thing we're going to talk about, and I'm already talking. There are times when I feel the need to add complexion and texture and explain what's going on in the video, but this is one of those that, like, it didn't need me standing here going, so I was at the store and I found this thing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the average person is going to fast forward through that probably because the toy is the star of the show. So I decided to jump in. You could argue that's almost always the case, but I think sometimes there's a case to be made for telling a story along with the product. But in this case, I just knocked it out. I'm very happy with how this one turned out. Sometimes an edit just feels really good. There are lots of little cuts and close-up shots and analysis. There's a little cleanup going on, which is kind of ASMR-ish, as you scrub down things. Anyway, I'm going to drop that one later today. We'll talk about that. But throughout the day yesterday, in the morning, I built took some photos and built the thumbnail, which can take hour and a half sometimes to really craft that. Then after lunch, I came back and I shot it and edited it. All in time to get ready for a meeting and then a podcast recording over at 1980s Now yesterday. So that filled up the day. But what it's given me is the video that I will publish today is done. Like last night, I was watching TV, I marked it up and put all the tags and titles and stuff in it. So I'll publish that later today. So that having that ready takes the pressure off of getting something out today, because it's been a bit 2 days since something released and it will come out. So I know what I'm going to do today, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's talk stats, though. Even bigger views day yesterday than the previous. We're up to almost like 40, I think it's like 40 or 50,000 views per day right now, thanks in large part to a ton of shorts. But it's not just shorts. Those tier videos are still doing well. A couple of reviews recently doing well, and updates doing well. Just a lot of good trickle revenue, along with big surges from short videos. As I've said before, short videos aren't big revenue, but they bring us tons of eyeballs and tons of subscribers, which then will see this Tron video, right, that pops out today. It will be presented to them at least as something they might want to see. So I think that's a win. Subscriber-wise, another greater than 100. I think we had 140 or so yesterday, and I got to remember because I'm off the page over there. So it was we're at 30,660 something, I believe, if my memory serves. I just looked at it about 10 minutes ago before we started this. And at around 100 a day, if that sustains, I would expect us to hit 31,000 by the time we talk on Monday. I think that's a pretty good bet. If not by the time we talk, then during the day Monday, we should probably hit it. I would expect, I think. So the stats are up, which keeps me up, which is really productive. So today, I think what I've decided to do today, there are two things I would like to do. There's the primary thing and there's a secondary thing. There's another short video I'd like to work on that I have some pieces for, but I've not really crafted. Probably going to take me about an hour and a half or so to do. I may or may not get that done today, but I've decided that today is going to be an Atari day. So I'm working on the next tier video. At some point, it takes hours of me going through all these games, making sure I understand how to play them, playing them, recording them, building it's all the prep work. It's all the research that goes into, doing a tier and rating games. You could just go in and go, the cover's pretty, it's a B. But that's not a contributing, like, you might get a click on that, but quickly people are going to thumbs up it and not like it because it's clear you don't know what you're doing. So it's not enough to do a ranking video. For me, if I'm going to do one, it's got to be enough that I've thought about each one, I've spent time with it, and rank it fairly, because every game you rank, whether game or movie or whatever you do, it's somebody's favorite. So I don't want to shortchange anybody by, oh, I didn't really research your game, so I just threw it on the tier somewhere. It's not fair. So today I'm doing all that stuff, started. I don't know if I'll get done. I think there are, oh my goodness, 20-something games, I think, in the next tier, I believe, something like that. It's a lot to get through, but it should make for a good piece. Before I go, I want to talk very briefly about something that's taken me months to learn, and as I kind of try to address different audiences who might watch this in the future, to talk about what it's like finding a way to do content creation full time. And something I learned about myself that took months to do, to figure out, was I often beat myself up over not being able to get motivated. And after time, I realized my motivation for different types of tasks is fluid throughout the day. It can change. And this is what I mean by that, if that sounds kind of goofy. For example, while I can get up and record this vlog each morning, and I do, it's not very polished. It's not, it's not edited. It's not crafted. It's not a presentation. It's just us talking. That's easy. But I found that I can't do stand-up shoots in the morning. My head, it just isn't there. I found that I can do editing in the morning, but I can't do, I can do, off-cam tasks better than I can do on-cam tasks. Also, I find that I can't really sit down at the table and start analyzing a gadget first thing in the morning. I don't know why my head is just it's almost like after lunch is when my brain and my motivation is all recharged. So what I found, especially with this recent tier, I have found, rather than focusing on looking at a video as here's the video for today. Now sometimes I can do those if they're small, like the Tomy Tron yesterday. But rather I'm finding that how I'm approaching large videos like these tiers, like the console review that I've been working on for months now, bad example probably, is stack the work and do the work you can do when you are able, and mentally, right? But what I mean by that is this. So for example, there's no way I think I could sit down and with a new product review, first thing in the morning, like we're talking now, sit down and start talking about it. I mean, I'm still kind of getting my day going. My head's not there yet, that kind of thing. But if instead I did that in the afternoon of the previous day, and then I could sit down in the morning and just open the footage and start editing, that works much better. I've always done it backwards, or not even backwards, like staggered. Like I will shoot video in the afternoon and then try to edit it late in the afternoon and the evening and work late and be frazzled, and then I'm tired and I start the next morning, and it's this ripple effect. Rather, what makes more sense is, and I'm just now figuring this out, is find out when you enjoy doing the work and schedule yourself to do the work for that time. So for example, in the afternoon, I will shoot table talk. I will shoot stand up, whatever B-roll that I need, and just import it, and then stop on that for the day. Right? It's 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever. Just quit, because then in the morning I could come in with a fresh eye. Because editing is a task I can get into right away, because it's much more technical and less performance. I guess that's the way to kind of divide them for me. And so technical work I can do in the morning. Performance work, where I'm on mic and I'm talking, I do differently. So it's an epiphany that I just kind of had over the last week or so, that I thought it was something I would share and we would talk about. And certainly somebody might find it interesting one day. Maybe just me when I go back and listen to this again. Who knows? I think it's time for me to get going. Hey, new Star Trek Strange New Worlds today. Ready for that. Other than that, I'm just going to get cooking. I want to thank you for stopping to check out today's vlog, if that's what you did. If you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. Have a great Thursday. Do something good for yourself, if at all possible. And I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.